In November 2020, MrBeast launched MrBeast Burgers to one location in North Carolina. He then partnered with a company called Virtual Dining Concepts to be a ghost kitchen and grow that brand outside of North Carolina all across the country. By the end of 2022, there were over 1,700 locations serving MrBeast Burgers all across the nation. The big problem is they tried to grow too fast and it led to some quality control issues, and MrBeast is kind of upset about that. This is why it's important for you to know about this at this time. MrBeast is being sued for $100 million because he was negligent in the way that he spoke about the brand over the last few months. MrBeast is also suing this company for an undisclosed amount of money for harm that it has done to MrBeast's brand. Who is going to win? Well, I have predictions on that I'm going to talk about here in a few minutes, but I want to break down this case and all of the things around it so that way you guys can read between the lines with me and I can help you understand what's going on in a way that you can avoid this as creators, and just so you guys can get the juicy drama details about what's happening in MrBeast's life. This lawsuit is massive, $100 million. So it seems like there's a high stakes game of lawsuit tag going on with Jimmy trying to sue this company and this company coming back and suing Jimmy. And the tweets are all over the place. It's hilarious. So in order to break this down so that way you guys understand exactly what's going on and I don't confuse anybody, I'm going to first break down MrBeast lawsuit. Then I'm going to talk about Virtual Dining Concepts lawsuit. And then I want to share with you guys some of the things that you need to be careful of as you guys are growing your creator business. So Jimmy is suing Virtual Dining Concepts and its parent company, seeking to terminate the deal for his restaurant chain, alleging among other things that the burgers it served were called disgusting, revolting, and inedible, and damage his reputation. Last week, however, Virtual Dining Concepts said that Jimmy's lawsuit is meritless and ill-advised, and Donaldson has breached his agreement with the virtual restaurant in an attempt to negotiate a new deal to serve his own monetary interests. So here's some of the things that the lawsuit against Jimmy claim. The lawsuit apparently contains some tweets from Jimmy that have been deleted from social media where he says, "The company I partnered with won't let me stop even though it's terrible for my brand." And then he says, "Young Beast signed a bad deal." Another time he wrote, "If I had the ability to close it, I would have done so a long time ago. Sadly, sometimes when you're young, you sign a poopy deal." And then VDC says, "Like any party to a contract, Donaldson must be held to his word and held accountable for his contractual breaches and other misconduct." And then Virtual Dining Concepts also says that the YouTube star's brand grew exponentially in part because of the MrBeast Burger brand itself. The company also said they take quality and customer reviews very seriously, and that any negative customer reviews reflect the experience and opinion of a very small minority of MrBeast Burger customers. Here's my thought on this. Every restaurant has poor reviews. Every restaurant cannot serve high quality, incredible food 100% of the time. And that's why we have things like Google reviews, right? I generally don't go to a restaurant that has less than 4 stars. And that's not a ranking of how much money I'm willing to spend. It's a ranking of how quality I think the environment's going to be, how good the service is going to be, how good the food is going to be. Any restaurant, anytime you serve food at all, you run the risk of having some food that comes out poor quality. Now, I don't know the details of their original agreement. Jimmy says here that VDC has caused material irreparable harm to the MrBeast brand and MrBeast reputation, and that the business has made millions of dollars, but he hasn't received a dime. I don't know if that's true or if that's not. But the point is that when you sign a contract in the food industry, you have to acknowledge that there are going to be a segment of the population that is not going to be happy with the service. You can't please everybody. The other aspect to this is whether you have a ghost kitchen or you have a franchise model, expanding from 0 to 1,700 locations in 2 years is extremely rapid growth. And on top of that, trying to incorporate quality standards is going to be a difficult mark to hit. But that still is not meaning that this company is in breach of their contract. Again, we don't know the ins and outs of a contract, but I do know that when people are wanting to get out of a contract, they're feeling like they're being harmed in some way, they're going to look for every way possible. Here's the problem. Once you open your mouth on social media and you start talking crap about your partner, that can create damage to their brand. That's where I feel like Jimmy is probably in the wrong. He should have just kept his mouth shut and let his army of attorneys handle every aspect of the contract dispute. Let me show you a couple tweets that I thought were interesting. Radomir Lennon says, "My local MrBeast is a pretty good local Waffle House diner, and thankfully we never had any quality issues around here. It's a solid but overpriced burger." burger. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with having an overpriced burger. Smarter to just get a burger from the diner directly. Coop says, I wish MrBeast would sue me. Bottom line, you guys, 3 takeaways that I have for you on this one. Number 1, read your contracts. Make sure that you are in alignment with your contracts. Make sure that you have your team of attorneys read over your contracts. And even though MrBeast is young and he is wealthy, if he's not savvy to the way that businesses do business, and the founder of MrBeast Burgers is no stranger to business dealing. He's run a number of very successful businesses, including being the founder and CEO of Planet Hollywood. So he knows how to operate a successful restaurant chain. Number 2, when you're writing contracts, whether it be with a multi-million-dollar big brand like VDC, or if you're just doing brand deals in general, and there are clear expectations and deliverables from each party, have an attorney look at those contracts before you do anything. Have an attorney create escape clauses for you, and just have an attorney make sure that your best interests are met in these deals. If Jimmy truly hasn't received a dime from the millions of dollars that have come in from MrBeast Burger brand, he should absolutely have seen that from the beginning. If you don't have a way to get out of these difficult partnerships, that can haunt you for years and years and years. And then number 3, probably the most important thing that you need to remember is to keep your mouth closed on social media. Anything you say as a creator that is negative towards a business on social media can come back to haunt you for years to come. So make sure that any problems that you have with anybody, any of your business dealings, that you keep to yourself, you handle internally until you absolutely know, and it's been reviewed by a compliance department, been reviewed by a lawyer, until you absolutely know that what you're saying is not going to haunt you forever. Here's my prediction for this. Because MrBeast is young and inexperienced at creating contracts and creating partnerships and business dealings, and Robert Earl, the founder of Virtual Dining Concepts, is not, I think MrBeast is going to end up getting the short end of this stick, and he's going to end up having to settle. Now, how much is he going to have to settle for? We don't know. It's a $100 million lawsuit. Generally, when things get settled, they're settled for a much smaller amount, but there's also gag orders that are attached to things, meaning that both parties can't disparage either party anymore on social media, or they can't talk about it in the press anymore. So that's what I think is going to happen with this. I think MrBeast is going to end up having to settle this lawsuit. I think he's going to lose it simply because of the things that he's been saying online. If MrBeast has convinced his audience to stop eating MrBeast burgers, that causes irreparable harm to Virtual Dining Concepts, and they have a massive lawsuit. Now, once again, not a lawyer. These are just my opinions, but that's what I think is going to happen. All right, guys, if you like this video and you want to see more of them, click this video, hit the subscribe button over here, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.